Hello, I'm Cody, and welcome to Thriftybeard. Thriftybeard is a channel dedicated to finding value in things other people have thrown away, gotten rid of, or left behind. My goal is to search the thrift stores, auction houses, flea markets, and garage sales of America to find dusty treasure, moldy gold, and forgotten relics of the past, polish them up, and turn them in for a profit. Today we will be going to one of our many local thrift stores to test the waters and see what we can find. Hello and welcome to Thrifting with Thriftybeard. Today we will be going to a local antique mall. This place is absolutely huge and is located in some kind of old theater, which I think is really cool. This will end up being more like a research trip rather than a thrifting trip. I kind of like to see what other sellers in the local area have things marked at, and it's kind of good to know. And you also find some really cool stuff here. Most of it will be priced a bit too high to be able to make money on, but every now and then you find that really cool hidden gem. The first thing that catches my eye are these two clocks. Both of these I remember from my childhood, and I'm pretty sure the one encased in glass is a prerequisite to being a grandparent. And over here we have a 1930s Royal typewriter. This thing is really cool. I actually have one of these, or a very similar one at home. And over here we have a bunch of old tins and cans and stuff like that. I really like old advertisements and product packaging, as you've seen in some of my previous videos. And as I'm browsing the tins and cans, I get the odd sensation I'm being watched. And I am, by the absolute scariest cookie jar I have ever seen. This thing is horrifying and I love it. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this unopened bottle of Sundrop. The reason I think this is cool is because I actually have one of these at home. And surprise, surprise, I am definitely going to stop and check this box out. It looks like it was hand carved and is also very expensive, so I think we will just move on. Moving on, we come to a case of old cameras. I love old photography equipment, but I am not knowledgeable enough to feel comfortable selling stuff like this. Over here we have a plaque of Schrade knives. I think those are pretty cool. And a case of war medals. Kind of tragic, but I think they're really neat. And over here, would you look at this? Somebody has made a statue of me and I am honored. I absolutely love this thing and very well might come back for it. Moving on towards the back of the store, we come to this case of really awesome, really pointy things. I love everything in this case, as well as some mini cannons. Fun fact, some of these are actually able to fire, and I think that is really cool. Up top here we have some skins of, I'm going to assume weasels. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, I have no idea what they are. Kind of creepy, honestly. And moving on over here, we have some farm toys. I think farm toys are pretty cool, and I had a lot of them when I was a kid. Next, we will move downstairs to the basement level. A lot of the wood in this place is very old, so I will do my best not to fall through the stairs and bust my thrifty ass. The first thing to catch my eye is a Pinewood Derby car. It kind of kills me to see this in an antique store. I built a lot of these as a kid and actually still have a few sitting around. Next up, we have a Sears tricycle, not unsimilar to the one that we've already found. It's good to see what other people have these marked at. And over here we have this primitive piece of farm equipment. It is a seed planter. I actually didn't know what this thing was, but my wife did, and she thinks that we should be able to make some decent money on this at the price that it's at. So we will walk away with this today. Moving on deeper into the basement, we have another selection of random cans and tins, even some from Ohio, which I think is kind of neat. Moving on over here, we see this awesome little collection of vinyls. I think these are pretty awesome. I even see a couple in there that I own, which would be both of the Kiss albums there. I see some Rush. I see the Ramones, some pretty decent bands actually. And here we have a personal piece of nostalgia, a crayon tin that, as far as I know, my grandmother still owns. Over here we have the most brutal toothpick holder I have ever seen. I love this thing, and I might have to come back for it. Ah, finally, this is something I've been looking forward to. Everything on these shelves is $1, which unfortunately I don't see a whole lot. I did find this pretty cool gavel though. And for $1, I'm not going to say no. That's pretty neat, I think. Moving deeper into the basement, this area is kind of a hallway of rooms, each room having its own selection of stuff, almost like individual stores. And the first room we come to is an homage to every slasher movie that I have ever seen. It has everything from axes, hog splitters, machetes, knives, scythes, sickles, everything you could imagine that is pointy and dangerous. I love this room. Moving on to the next room in line, we have a box full of electric goodness. This thing looks to be some sort of radio or CB amplifier, maybe even military. I'm not entirely sure. And over here we have this cool old style metal lunchbox. We actually picked one of these up at a garage sale recently, and they're priced similarly. Ours is in slightly worse shape, but pretty close. I look forward to seeing what it'll bring. And in this room, we see a ton of old style metal signs. Now, it's important to note that these signs aren't actually antiques, they are in fact new. But the art style itself, the advertising, is old. And I think these are really, really cool. Even some IH and Pepsi stuff. I really like these signs. Over here on this wall, we see some car manufacturers and things like that. I think these are really cool and kind of tie any man cave together. Moving past the life-size creepy Santa, we have a scale model of Santa on his deathbed. And moving on into this room, looking around, we have creepy dolls. No thank you. Moving on into the next room, I see we have tons of pots and pans and cooking utensils. I really don't see how you can sell kitchenwares like this scattered all over the floor. Just tons of pans and a bunch of other junk. And is that a toilet pan? I don't think that particular pan is used for cooking, sir. I think we'll go ahead and move on. Here we have some lawn darts, just in case you have one too many kids. Looks like a lot of cast iron pots and pans hanging on the wall. A good collection of license plates. And I spot these tiny coffee mugs. These things I remember getting in egg machines at the grocery store all the time. It's hard to believe that they're starting to show up in antique stores, and I don't like that. And here we have a nice little collection of old antique fishing lures. I used to collect antique fishing lures, and I've actually had a lot of the ones that are in this case. Pretty cool. Now we'll head back upstairs to check out the booths on the other side of the wall. The first booth that we come to over here is full of animal products. I see everything from a lamp made from deer feet, deer heads on the wall, and this strange purse. I have no idea what this purse is made out of or what animal. If you guys happen to know, leave it in the comments. I don't know anyone that would want to walk around with something like this. I think it's weird, but to each their own, I guess. Checking out a few more of the glass cases in the middle, I see this old piggy bank. Again, another object which every grandparent must own. This thing is pretty sweet. It is a table covered in sheet music. I kind of want to try to make one of these. And as I'm walking down the aisle, I see out of the corner of my eye Ronald McDonald making bedroom eyes at me. Now we'll head on upstairs to the final area of the antique mall. I had planned on playing the Rocky music over these stairs, but due to copyright problems and the fact that I don't know if it would be considered fair use, I'm not going to do so. So this time, take your phone out and play the theme for yourself, or make the sounds with your mouth. I don't care. Now that I am suitably able to beat up Mr. T, Dolph Lundgren, and Apollo Creed, we move into the final floor of the antique mall. First and foremost, I must point out the evil genius behind putting mannequins up in the balcony. Sir, whoever you are my hero. And over here we have a couple of really creepy dolls that look like they don't give a damn about your well-being. Last but not least, we have a veggie slicer used to chop larger vegetables such as cabbage. On the back it is written in pencil 1924, so I'm thinking this thing's pretty old, but I have my doubts if it's that old. Alright, that'll be it for this trip. We walked away with the seed planter, the little gavel that I found, and the veggie slicer. I'm actually really surprised we ended up coming away with anything on this trip, because when you go to an antique mall, you typically see prices where people are trying to make money on the object, so there's not normally any money to be made. So it was kind of a pleasant surprise. If you liked the video, leave a like, share, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and if you see me walk past anything that you think I should have covered or something that I just flat out missed, feel free to leave it in the comments. This has been Thrifting with Thriftybeard. Thank you for watching.